Welcome back to. I was about to say Sherlock Holmes. Phoenix Wright, Zootopian Defense, Derailed Turnabout Part 2. I'm so done for. Don't worry, Weaselton. I hear prison food is good this time of year. Nick! Phoenix knows what he's doing. You'll be fine. Says the cop who tried to get the local mafia to ice me. Wait, what? That's not quite what happened. It's a long story. Right. Remind me not to get on her bad side. You really don't want to be on her bad side. So we going to get the show on the road or what? Eager, are we? I just want to get this over with. I might die of boredom otherwise. We're ready to head to the courtroom whenever you are, Phoenix. I'm ready. Let's go. Court is now in Okay, let's read it the way it's written. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Duke Weaselton. Are the defense and prosecution ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is always ready, Your Honor. Very well. I must say, I've been having a marvelous time around Zootopia. And now here we are yet again. Our second trial in this city. Let's see if it's as newsworthy as the first, eh? Could the prosecution please give their opening statement? At once, Your Honor. 2 days ago, a train came off its tracks. Luckily, it slid along them to a rough halt at Zootopia's train station. Injuries were minor and there were no fatalities. However, this was no accident. The train had been sabotaged from within. The defendant is the saboteur in question, as the prosecution intends to prove beyond a doubt. Then let's begin the trial with haste. Yes, Your Honor. No witness and evidence pointing to Mr. Weaselton's undeniable guilt. Not to mention the defendant's criminal history. Objection! Already? My client's previous transgressions are not on trial here, Edgeworth. No, but they showcase the type of character your client is. Thus give an insight into his possible motivation and mindset. The prosecution does have a point, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled. Thank you. Now, before we get to any of that, I would like to call out the one in charge of the case. Bogo, no doubt. Alright, let's hear what he has to say. I'm here as summoned, Your Honor. I'm ready to get the facts of the case on your word. Thank you, Chief Bogo. That is... Oh, shoot. So please, I didn't mean to click it that many times. So please, tell us the specifics of what happened on the 3rd of July. Of course. Oh my gosh, I'm already doing that again. Our detectives have gone over the scene and questioned all involved. And we believe we now know exactly what happened. So, without further ado, you're going to play the animation. The crime. Weaselton boarded the train and spent most of the journey in his seat. However, as they neared their destination, he got up and left. He was next seen exiting the engine compartment by a witness. The train crashing moments later. While in the compartment, he used a gun to shoot a key part of the engine itself. The damage to the train was extensive. After the deed was done, he tried to escape the scene, only to run into the mentioned witness, leading to his arrest. And now we are here. That's all there is to know. That seemed clear enough. Thank goodness the witness caught him pod. I take it the defense wishes to begin their cross-examination? That would be correct, Your Honor. Very well, you may begin. Now the fun part, remembering where exactly the thing we need to do here is. Weasel's on board the train and spend most of the journey in the seat. I'm just gonna see if I can skip, because I can, that's probably what we need to do. Oh, something feels a little strange to me. I might need to look carefully at the court record. Okay. Witness. Later. On the compartment, he used a gun to shoot a key part of the engine itself. Hold it! It's a gun recovered by Officers Hobbs and Wild, correct? That is correct. Why? Is there something wrong with that? No, I just wanted to be certain it was the same gun you're talking about. What other gun is there, Wright? Continue, witness. Has been nothing physical. After the crash, the Major didn't have a chance to slink away into the chaos. Though he panicked quite a bit when we first showed up. My word! Thank goodness the witness was there to foil him. Quite. Yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble remembering what the thing was. And apparently we need to look in the... So what? What do we need to look at? I find it odd that only a single witness saw him in the compartment. Apparently our witness grew suspicious and went to check the area out. I'm sure they can explain more later. I'm sure they can. Mr. Wright, is there something you want to share with us? Was there something wrong with that testimony? I have a feeling the answer is no, but if you try and say yes... He's all like, don't be stupid! Mr. Wright, you should feel very ashamed of yourself. I don't feel ashamed at all. Let's see. Oh gosh, I don't remember this part of the trial. Oh, I had played this a month ago. I forgot what thing we need to present. Wait a minute. Let's see. Hold it! You read this again. The details of the confirmation summaries voices, but nothing physical. After the crash, they made sure he didn't have a chance to slink away into the chaos, so he panicked quite a bit when we first showed up. My word. I wish I had a handy-dandy. I'm just gonna try something. I have a feeling it's gonna be wrong, but you never know. Objection! It's wrong. What do you think about this? I think there's no problem, so we're gonna go back to here, where I saved the game. Hold it! Is that a known fact? Our interviews with the passengers would indicate so. Never even left for a bathroom break. However... Hold it! You should really just pay attention, right? Only then until your answers come. Yeah, well, anyway. Hold it! That. get to go through here and try all the evidence, because I don't remember what we're supposed to present. This could be something. Let's try it.
Objection!
Nope, never is. This is the part I hate. Trying to find the evidence you need to use.
Objection!
Not that. Well, we can rule out the top two, haha. Here we go. Hold on just a minute. You say my client shot the gun, and yet there are no prints to be found. Oh, so it seems. Mr. Weaselton was never witnessed with the gun. Either firing it or simply possessing such a weapon at all. And neither within the engine compartment or outside of it. Yes, I have yet to hear any witness claim they saw such a thing. That's because there were none who did, Your Honor. As I said, nobody saw him with the weapon in question. Mean? There's no proof that my client ever actually fired the weapon. And without prints, you cannot prove it. Anyone could have fired said gun, not just my client.
Objection!
I'm afraid the defense needs to turn its thinking around. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? The question isn't, are there any prints on the gun? It's, why aren't there any prints on the gun? Why? This should be quite obvious even to y'all. The answer to that question is quite simple. A bit like that defense attorney over there. Ouch. You see... I clicked. The defendant was actually found wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. Ergo, I can easily take this court to a solution. The defendant wore those gloves to prevent his own prints from having transferred to the weapon. And now the judge says, shut up, shut up, shut up! That does appear to be the case. Whoop. And it renders the defense's objection completely void. I do my best, Your Honor. Dang it, Edgeworth! Well, at least I now know that Weaselton followed the letter's instructions to, well, the letter. The defense concedes the prosecution's point. However, there is still the possibility that someone else fired the shot. If you say so, Wright. But then again, why not ask the man itself? Or himself? You mean the defendant? Indeed. For my next witness, I call the defendant to the stand. Well, hasn't this been a show so far? Witness, name and occupation. Who wants to know? This court, name and occupation. His name is 3 dots. Weaselton, Duke Weaselton. I do odds and ends. Whatever I'm paid for. I see. Tell me, do you recognize this gun? Never seen it before in my entire life. Alright, if that's the case, then you wouldn't mind explaining your history with such weapons. What? I never ever seen shotgun in real life before. Then we shouldn't find any contradiction, should we? Edgeworth is looking for Weaselton to slip up and lie. While he's doing that, I should also look for contradictions. Contradictions of reality versus Edgeworth's perceived version of events. Could you please testify, witness? Fine. I really picked a bad time to do this while the reading, because I am tired! I never used a gun! I don't know what all this is about guns and stuff. I most certainly did not shoot any gun aboard the stupid train. I'm fairly certain I would remember that. And why would I do that? I don't use guns. There, happy? Can I go yet? Forgive me for saying this, but I cannot trust your mere word in this case, witness. Oh, come on, I told you the truth! A rare commodity for me. How sad that you consider the truth a rare commodity. Defense, the ball is, as they say, in your side of the court. Very well, with your honor's permission. Santa says you may begin your cross-examination of the defendant, witness, person, animal. Seems the judge is getting confused. I better make this fast. Indeed, and if memory serves, this will be fast. I hope. I don't know all this about guns and stuff. I most certainly did not shoot any gun aboard the stupid train. I'm fairly certain I remember that. And why would I do that? I don't use guns. Hold it! You don't use guns? No, I do not. I'm not exactly what you call an expert when it comes to shooting. How so? I've never fired a gun my entire life. That fact seems worthy of addition to the testimony. Well, if it'll make Gramps happy. I'm no expert with a gun. I've never actually even used one. Hold it! So, you've never used a gun? Does my client have any gun-related incidents in his criminal history? Well, Mr. Edgeworth? No, there are no reports of citing the defendant ever using a gun. No gun has ever been found in his possession, only pocket knives at most. And there is no sign he ever purchased one. We've investigated during this case. And yet we still found a gun at the scene. That's definitely a little strange. This was his first time using a gun. He'd be a novice, hardly an expert shot. There, happy, can I go? Hold your horses. I think we might have found a contradiction.
Objection!
So it's true that my client had no previous history of guns. Yes, that is correct. But don't you find that a little strange? It was reported by a ZPT that the bullet was fired expertly into exactly where it needed to hit. Even if you did fire the gun, my client doesn't have the skill required for such a shot like that. He didn't have the skill? According to the ZPD report, bullet impact shows it hit precisely where it needed to hit in order to break the engine. And then goes on to say, it was shot expertly from across the room. My client is no expert. We are dealing with someone who has extensive experience with such weaponry. Is this true, Mr. Weaselton? While I don't like being called inept, well, that's not quite what I said. In the interest of self-preservation, I have to admit it. If you were to give me a gun and a target, I'd hit anything but the target. Because I've never, ever fired one in my life. I see. This certainly brings up another aspect to the case. I'm glad you agree, Your Honor. You cannot object to my logic here. Watch him do it. Get that smug look off your face, Wright. I should have seen that coming. I totally did. You say I cannot object to your logic? Let's play the logic music while I do object. Mr. Edgeworth, the defense did bring up some valid points, and that I do not deny. But there are other possibilities we still cannot ignore. And with my might they be? For one thing, we still have no reason to believe anyone else was in that compartment. There is no evidence suggesting there was. Secondly, it's possible the defendant has training we do not know about and is lying to us. I ain't lying! That's conjecture, Edgeworth. That's totally not how he sounded, you heard that. I said it was a possibility, not a fact. And then to bring up a point from our previous case, while the shot may appear to be extra, there's always the possibility he got lucky. And unless you can provide evidence of another person, those two options remain the most likely. The prosecution does have a point. However, neither can I ignore the claims of the defense in this case. All possibilities should be considered in the pursuit of the truth. But my next and final witness should clear up that doubt. Gazelle. As such, I call my next witness to the stand. Bailiff, bring them in. Hello to you all. I'm eager to be of assistance to you in this trial. Your cooperations and presence here today are greatly appreciated. Name and occupation for the record. Gazelle, singer. My word! Aren't you that famous pop star? The artist behind Try Everything? I never knew the judge was a fan of pop music. I am surprised myself. That I am, yes. Now get ready for horrible singing. I wanna try even though I could fail. Oh, 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 oh. Try everything.
Objection!
I request we not turn this trial into a musical concert, Your Honor. Ah, my apologies. I got caught up in the moment. I think my ears are bleeding. And to be honest, I sung horribly on purpose. I really am a great singer. Witness, is it true you saw the defendant on the day of the crime? I did. And do you believe that the defendant is responsible? I do. Very well, please testify as to what happened that day. Of course. Let me play the little animation that goes boom, chugga-lugga. And then it says what the title of the testimony is. It's called What I Saw. What an original title. During the journey, he remained in his seat. I was situated right at the front, near the engine compartment. Then, nearing the end, he vanished. Soon after, I heard disturbance coming from the compartment and went to investigate. Oh, and a bang! I initially believed it was part of the engine's function, but it must have been the gunshot. And then exited the compartment alone. He was panicked, flustered, and that was when the derailment occurred. And nobody else exited? No, nobody. It's odd considering. Considering what? Your Honor, my cross-examination. Of course, witness. I think you know what this might be if you watched last episode, but let's see what we do. Hold it! A disturbance? How do you mean? I could hear him inside, just barely. He must be quite loud, whatever it was he was doing. Wait a second. Didn't you mention when we last spoke? I must ask, was there anything else of note? Bang! I just found part of blah 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 blah. I don't think we need to deal with that one, cause once I check the testimony. Yeah, I think this will work. Let's try this.
Objection!
Of course it doesn't work. This is a clear contradiction. Nope. Damn it. Yeah, get on tight faster.
Hold it!
So you heard the gunshot. Yes, though I didn't know it at the time. It's quite chilling, though, being so close to such a thing. Yes, I can imagine. I thought I heard a gunshot once, but it turned out to be a balloon popping. Yes, I do recall that case. Back when I still conformed to the flawed philosophy of Manfred von Karma. Yes, how times have changed. Care to fill me in here? It relates to the young doctor's case I wish to discuss with you before our Hodge. It is of no relation to the current case, so we should move back to the topic at hand. Please continue. Onwards. Onward and upward, witness. All alone. Alright, Phoenix, we don't find contradictions. It's as good as over. I don't get the sense that she is a lying type. Everyone gets forgetful in stressful scenarios. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. For Whistleton's sake, she better have. Alrighty, so let's see. What? Do bang. That thing. Hold it. He was definitely alone. Oh, that's interesting. Mr. Wright, this might be nothing but a waste of time. There are other avenues I can pursue. Your Honor, I would like the witness's statement added to the testimony. I see. Very well. As you wish. Continue, witness. He was alone. There was never any indication of a second person. Ladies and gentlemen. Not that.
Objection!
Really? That's not what you told me the other day. What do you mean? Look at this. In her previous testimony, she said she saw Weaselton exit the compartment just after hearing him call out for someone. Oh my! What do you mean, calling out for someone? Exactly what it sounds like. My client was expecting somebody else. Ergo, there should have been, in fact, someone else there. I remember now, my apologies. Now, I also recall telling you that he was likely just making sure he was alone. He could have very well carried out his crime of witness there. I can imagine he wanted to make sure he was alone and so called out. Oh, I don't think so. Mr. Wright, do you have more evidence to suggest your client was expecting someone? I do, Your Honor. Then, Mr. Wright, by all means, show us. What is your evidence? I think you know what it is. Let's save. Better save again. Just in case.
Take that!
Don't need it. This letter reveals the truth. A letter? To who? Why, to my client, of course. This letter was received by my client shortly before the incident. It asked him to not only meet the author of the letter on that very train on that very day, but also, in fact, tells him to wear gloves. That's a rather odd request. That's a rather odd scroll. Anyway, no it isn't. Because the intent of the letter's author was to frame my client. What? The real saboteur wore gloves to conceal his prints, then leaving the gun behind after the crime. Because Weaselton too was wearing gloves. It was assumed that he had used the weapon. And also, it was darkened in that compartment at that time, so my client wouldn't see the culprit. When my client searched the dark for the author, said author took his weapon and expertly fired a shot. He or she sabotaged the train. My client, hearing the shot, fled in fear, only to run into Gazelle. Why did I call her Gazelle? It's just obeying it like that. I cannot blame her for the conclusion she came, for that was the real criminal's intent.
Objection!
What? Yeah, move faster, please. Actual Ace Attorney games move a lot faster than this when they go to objections like this. I must thank the defense. That letter has made everything clear to me. It's time to show my ace evidence. I had known that Mr. Weaselton is a true culprit from the beginning due to this. You see, Agent Savage has been investigating the case alongside the ZPD. And he discovered something interesting at the station, hastily shoved into a bin. This is a letter written by Weaselton to an unknown party. One that, thanks to Wright, I clearly see is a reply to his presented letter. That's the record now. A second letter. He never mentioned meeting anyone, but he did say that he would be on that train. And that he would commit the sabotage, all to kill the prey scum Gazelle. What? This was a hate crime? So it would appear. A predator attacking a prey. No, that can't be. That's not the world we live in anymore. I'm afraid it is, unfortunately. We check the handwriting, it matches out Weaselton's perfectly. Something is wrong here. What is going on? There's no more doubt. No denying the truth. Weaselton's behind this dastardly crime. I've heard enough and see no reason to prolong this trial. What do I do here? Well, obviously we have to object.
Objection!
Your Honor, we can't end yet. And why not, Mr. Wright? Because... what was the one again? I forgot. We're still missing a piece of the puzzle. The first letter's author should have been on that train too. Until we have arrested and interrogated this person, we are missing a crucial puzzle piece. They will have information that could change everything we know about the case thus far. Shut up! While I am still certain of the defendant's guilt, the defense does make an excellent point. There's a gap in our knowledge, a loose end to the case that may yet be filled. And unless I let that loose end at least try to be filled in, I cannot safely give a verdict at this time. As such, I will suspend this trial one more day. But if nothing substantial is found by tomorrow, I will deliver a swift verdict. I understand, Your Honor. We'll search for the letter's author and apprehend them if we can. Very well then, this court is adjourned. That was too close for comfort. I need to find something out today or Weaselton is done for. I either need to find this mysterious person or discover the truth behind this second letter. My client's life may very well depend on it. That indeed it does. Find out if we can save poor old Weaselton next time in part 3 of the Derailed Turnabout.